Thanks, Robert. I'm excited. Actually, talking about takeaways, I think I have a takeaway menu for you today. Because I am passionate about empowering habits, empowerment in general. My story very briefly is, for about 23 years, I used to be mostly a rather depressed, lonely, insecure, very self-conscious, anxious person. But I turned that around. And just like Robert mentioned, last time I sat in the back row and I thought, you know, I could be on that stage. I think everyone could be on that stage, because for every one of us, there's something in us that if we share it, other people can use. Other people are looking for, right? So to learn to express yourself and stand here on stage, I think that's, you know, a very big step you can make to help other people out with your life experience. First of all, I want to show a video to set the scene of this speech.
I used to be a cat. Every day the same. I'd be aloof till lunch, then coldly indifferent after. To me, everything was just, Then it hit me. Why be so cat? Why not be a bit more dog? I mean, look at the world today. It's amazing. Running, amazing. Chasing cars, amazing. Sticks, amazing. Carpe diem. It means grab the frisbee. Maybe we should all be a bit more dog. Be more dog. Start now at bemoredog.com.
Wasn't that cute? I have a question. You know, if we would divide society very bluntly into two kinds of people, cat people and dog people, who of you is by nature a cat person? Oh, a couple of people here. Okay. Who of you is definitely a dog person? Wow, good. I think it has a little bit to do with more dogs. I think it has a little bit to do with extroversion, introversion. It has to do with kind of how you express yourself to the world. Dogs are, mankind's best friend, they say. I always used to think, in my cat philosophy, that was a very easy thing for dogs to accomplish. Because, who doesn't love a thing that is every day, all the time, glad to see you and jumps at you and twists a tail and is totally joyous. That makes people happy. Cats, on the other hand, they have character and personality, but you can't do so much with them, right? And so it was, especially also last time, that I thought, let's just take some action and go stand here. Actually, the quote that I read that night was, you can't wait for inspiration, you have to go after it with a club, like with a stick. And it's like what the cat's doing in this video, right? It's like, I can't wait anymore, I just, go out and do the things. And so, I want to share with you some practical choices that you can make every day to get yourself into that state of excitement. Because I manage to do that every day, and I'm very glad that I have accomplished that in my life, because for the most years it wasn't so. So please go to the next slide. First thing is get moving. It's actually the easiest thing. Exercise. Sweat, run, at least go for a walk. Science proves that makes the human body feel good. And the dog's body, of course, they run around all the time, because that's what humans naturally are supposed to do. You're supposed to move around. However, given our modern lifestyle, often we sit inside all day, studying, or like I used to do, just sitting there wondering why. It doesn't work. You have to go out. Go to show up at a speaker's corner. Why are people here? Who's here for inspiration? Yeah, I think most people are here for inspiration, right? So here's some practical things. Just go out, do exercise, whatever you want. I do 160 push-ups every morning, works for me. Next slide. Change your story. Vocabulary and the way we are thinking, the words we're using, how we're talking to ourselves is so important. And I noticed a couple of things that if you change them, could really have a big impact on your well-being. For example, I always used to ask the question, why? People do that, like, why am I sick, broke, ugly, stupid, these things? The brain, however, isn't very helpful when you ask these questions, because the brain is like, oh, so apparently you are broke, sick, ugly, stupid, so let me come up with some suggestions why that may be. Maybe it's in your genes. Maybe it's because you're destined to be. Maybe it's because of this and that. And it doesn't work like that. The why question doesn't have an empowering answer. Ask instead, what and how? Where do I want to be and how can I get there? Don't dwell on a problem. And it's the next thing, problem. Stop probleming. All that, like, it's a problem, it's difficult. It doesn't help you in any way to just point that out. For example, you know, this is a cat in a space, so to speak. But today I was watching a little live feed of a spacewalk at the ISS, you know, astronauts working outside and the guy actually said, that's difficult. I think that is a situation where something might actually be difficult, because if you drop something, it's going to just drift off in space. If you're not careful, you're going to be like in that movie Gravity. So that might actually, you know, a situation where, you know, we have a problem, might actually be relevant. But most of our problems throughout the day, they're kind of luxury problems. It's not that bad. If you just sit in your house, I mean, you have a house, it's warm, you have food and all these things. So, let's see, I have a little note with some other suggestions for you. Oh yeah, I have to work, especially in Dutch. Ik moet werken. As if you are, you want to work most of the time. You should be wanting to work. So if you say to yourself, you have to do all these things, you're never empowered, right? So want more things instead of thinking you have to. All right, well this would be for vocabulary for now. Can you go to the next? Declutter your life. You're going to clean your room, good? And quick. So first habit, do the dishes. And do them instantly. Who of you instantly does the dishes after having had dinner? Good job. You have to do them anyway, right? Clean up after yourself. Also, another example is make your bed in the morning. Because these are these small things. Yeah, great job, Sebastian. Small things that if you do them consistently will just make you a, kind of more productive person, feeling better with yourself. Take the trash out. Just clean up after yourself. However, also, another suggestion I would give you is stop following the news. Take that negativity out, because the news in general is actually the bad news, if you listen to it. It's mostly just drama and bad news. And also, get rid of the negative people in your life. As in, surround yourself with positive people. If there are people always complaining, well, just stop hanging around with them so often. That should be doable. It might be confronting to them. So. All right, next one. Challenge yourself. That's my favorite. After the 160 push-ups every morning, I take a cold shower. Why? First of all, it's healthy. Science, again. Got a better immune system, and you get used to discomfort. Every morning, I make the conscious choice, to do something that's not entirely comfortable for me, and it's actually quite symbolic, but it works. When it's cold outside or it rains, I don't care, I don't even notice. What about the rainy summer? I haven't noticed that. But also you get used to the mindset of, I make a conscious choice to do something now that's slightly uncomfortable, but will be good for me. And every morning you decide, I can choose this consciously, not to, live life of mediocrity. And it might also transfer to, the rest of your day. But at least one thing in the morning that reminds you of what your standard is. And 3 is pretty high, apparently. But Sebastian already picked it up when I told him once. So. And have a growth mindset in general. So, just like with the vocabulary, don't think in these disempowering ways. Look for the opportunities you have in everything. Last one. Wow, be a smile square leader, square, square. Well, these squares aren't supposed to be there. Be a leader. And this is why. I believe that we all express leadership in every interaction that we have. How come? Because we are all, in the things we do or not do, we are references for other people. So, for example, in a negative situation, if you're the person still being positive, that's not being naive. That is actually leadership. In my case, back in the days, when I saw people smiling, I thought they were having rose-colored glasses. They were smiling all the time, every day. But well, how's it possible? Don't they see how, how bad it really is? I was being naive, and I was wearing dark sunshades. Because what I realized is, I was waiting. I was waiting for someone to cheer me up every day. Why can't somebody just smile at me, right? And then I realized these people might have the same lives, not that they have better upbringing, families, or whatnot. It's just that they choose to be the person to start that avalanche, right? To be the person who consciously chooses to make someone smile by doing it themselves. That's how we tick. But you have to force yourself to do that, to stand there and do it. Set your ego aside. And the last thing is that I want to give you is consider the impact that has. An encouraging comment to a person, a child, for example, could change their life. You can change someone's life for better or worse in every single interaction. We're not aware of that, but that's the impact it can have. Give someone a compliment. They might make different decisions that can change everything. Decide not to do it because you're a little bit, no, it's not for me. You're missing out on an opportunity. So that's the leadership we have all the time. And so there's no excuse not to be aware of that. And so I challenge you to, in your daily lives, be aware of the moments when you are waiting, when you're just going with what's comfortable, instead of doing the things that you could do, to set the right example for yourself and inspire other people in the process. Thank you.